Ollie Bearman received a not five, but a 10-second time penalty for for causing a collision with Carlos Sainz. So this was down into the second chicane. Sainz had the outside line going in, turned in, made contact with Bearman, who was on the inside, pitching them both into a spin. It seems that both of us have quite a different view from the FIA on this accident. So how do you see it, Owain?
As far as I'm concerned, I think Ollie Bearman has just got a 10-second penalty for daring to be defending on the inside when he's being overtaken. Like, that's what's happened here. Where was he meant to go, and what's he meant to do? Is he meant to be a racer driver and be like, and defend the position as you would be want to do? Like, there's no. I think he would have made the corner had he not had Sainz not sort of turned in front of him. If you go on the outside, like it's known to be a more difficult overtake. Yes, Sainz was in front of Bearman at the point where they collided. But the fact is that essentially Science has just turned in on Bearman, as far as I'm concerned, like he's not there, expected him to go into, to vanish into thin air, has caused the collision. I haven't seen Bearman's on board, but I've seen the outside of it, and it looks like Science does turn across Bearman. Where's Bearman meant to go? And like, if I'm just gonna sort of take it to a push it a bit further. Okay, let's say that Bearman does decide to back out. What if he locks up and then hits Sainz? Does he still get the penalty? Because I don't see anything that Bearman could have reasonably done to avoid hitting Sainz. But I know a hell of a lot of what Sainz could have avoided doing. It could have done to avoid hitting Bearman in what is, I think, quite a scrappy race for Sainz. And it feels almost like the after effects of last week. They realised that it was a bit harsh. Well, it was harsh on Sainz to give him the penalty for the Lawson incident, and somehow he's getting away with loads of stuff. With not following the race director's instructions getting a reprimand for that when there weren't any mitigating circumstances for going around the bollard at that second chicane. When you outbrake yourself, you're meant to go right of the bollard and go around the yellow line. Didn't do that, got a reprimand. As far as I was concerned, that was a slam dunk, and as it says in the ruling, there was no mitigating circumstances. So I honestly don't, whatever, whichever restaurant science might have taken this or recommended to the stewards, I want to go there because the food must be amazing. That's two incidents today, specifically the Bearman one where it's kind of ruined his race really. That I don't understand how he's got away with that.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'm literally I've probably rewatched the crash just about three or four times on my phone just now, and I am still baffled. A lot of people are seeming to argue that because Bearman extended the braking zone, i.e., brake a little bit later than Sainz, he wasn't going to make the corner, therefore should have backed out. But as you said, he did look like he was going to make the corner. It didn't seem too bad. I mean, Sainz hit him before Bearman even really had a chance to turn in. And it was quite clear that Sainz was going for the apex. He wasn't exactly leaving a car's width on the inside. It's strange. Yeah. I think it's a very strange thing. But it was a 10-second penalty for him for causing that